Ladies and gentlemen, friends, dreamers, and doers. Today, I want to talk to you about one simple truth that can change your life. Focus on yourself, not others. We live in a world that is louder than ever. A world where we are constantly bombarded with images of other people's success, their highlight reels, their awards, their lifestyles. And if we're not careful, we fall into the trap of comparison. We begin to measure our worth based on what others are doing, what others have, and where others are going. But let me ask you something. How can you run your race while constantly looking at someone else's lane? You see, comparison is the enemy of growth. When you focus on others, you lose sight of your own journey. You delay your progress. You rob yourself of the energy, the creativity, and the clarity that comes from truly investing in yourself. Comparison is one of the most silent yet powerful killers of personal growth and progress. It's easy to fall into its trap, especially in today's world, where social media constantly showcases the best moments of people's lives. We scroll through pictures of achievements, promotions, celebrations, and perfect-looking lives, and somewhere in the back of our minds, a quiet voice whispers, "Why not me?" What starts as a harmless observation can slowly turn into self-doubt, insecurity, and even self-sabotage. When we compare ourselves to others, we shift our focus from our own unique journey to someone else's story. A story we likely don't fully understand. We begin to question our worth based on what others are doing, achieving, or becoming. We start measuring our progress against their milestones, without recognizing that everyone's starting point, background, and challenges are what we often forget is that people show what they want to show. We see their results, but not the late nights, the doubts, the sacrifices, or the failures behind the scenes. In reality, we're comparing our behind the scenes to their highlight reel, and that's a battle we'll never win. Progress requires clarity, effort, and focus. But comparison clouds our vision. It distracts us from our own goals and dreams. It turns our attention outward when we should be looking inward. It replaces motivation with envy and confidence with doubt. Instead of taking the next step forward in our journey, we waste time worrying about what step someone else is on. And in doing so, we lose precious energy that could be used for self-growth. It's important to realize that everyone's path is unique. What works for one person may not work for another. Your success may come in a different form, at a different time, or through a different route altogether. And that's not just okay, it's beautiful. There is no universal timeline for growth. Some people bloom early, others take time. What matters is not when or how, but that you grow. But if your eyes are always on someone else's garden, you'll forget to water your own. True progress is deeply personal. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday, not better than someone else today. It's about learning, failing, trying again, and staying committed to your journey. When you focus on yourself, you take ownership of your pace, your goals, and your growth. You begin to recognize your strengths, celebrate your small wins, and stay patient with your progress. You stop racing others and start running a marathon built for one. Letting go of comparison doesn't mean you ignore others completely. It means you admire without envy, support without resentment, and learn without copying. You become inspired, not distracted, encouraged, not discouraged. And that shift in mindset allows you to channel your energy where it truly belongs, into becoming the best version of you. At the end of the day, the only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. That is the only comparison that serves your growth. Every time you choose focus over comparison, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that your value isn't determined by how you measure up to others. It's determined by how far you've come, how hard you're trying, and how committed you are to your journey. So, stay in your lane, water your own garden. And remember, comparison kills progress, but focus fuels it. In life, we are all running a race. But what many of us forget is that it's not a race against anyone else, it's a race against ourselves. It's easy to get caught up in what others are doing, achieving, or becoming. It's tempting to compare our progress to theirs, to feel behind when someone else seems to be ahead, and to question our worth when their path looks smoother than ours. But the truth is, we were never meant to compete in someone else's race. We were meant to run our own. Running your own race means understanding that your journey is uniquely yours. It means embracing the timing, the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the lessons that come your way, knowing they are shaping you for your purpose. Just as no two people have the same fingerprint, no two people have the same life path. Your experiences, your dreams, your obstacles, and your strengths are different from anyone else's, and that difference is not a weakness. It's your greatest advantage. The problem starts when we take our eyes off our own path and start watching others too closely. It's like a runner in a marathon, constantly looking to the side, checking how fast someone else is going. Not only does it slow them down, but it also increases the risk of stumbling. The same happens in life. When you focus on others too much, you lose momentum in your own journey. You get distracted. You start chasing goals that don't even belong to you. You begin to feel anxious, inadequate, and unsure, not because you're failing, but because you're not allowing yourself to move forward at your own pace. Running your own race requires discipline. It means tuning out the noise, letting go of constant comparison, and trusting the process. It means waking up each day and asking yourself what you need to do to get closer to your goals, not what someone else is doing or achieving. It means accepting that sometimes you'll move fast and sometimes you'll take slow, steady steps. And both are okay. Progress is progress, no matter the speed. There is no universal definition of winning. There's only alignment, living in a way that is true to who you are and where you want to go. When you run your own race, you also become more resilient. You begin to understand that setbacks aren't the end. They're part of the course. You build inner strength because you're not relying on external validation to tell you how well your progress becomes personal, your milestones more meaningful, and your motivation deeper and more lasting.